Hi there and welcome back to another video on the Ren Figures channel. In this video I'll be taking a look at my top 10 Star Wars The Black Series wish list for 2020 and beyond. Let's jump right in with number 10. So here we are then, starting off the countdown at number 10 with the one and only Jar Jar Binks. One of the most controversial characters in the entire Star Wars franchise, but I think most people would agree that Gungan deserves this place in the Black Series line, no matter if you love him, hate him, or just love to hate him. Personally, I grew up with The Phantom Menace, being only 3 years old when it was released in cinemas, so Jar Jar will always hold a certain place in my heart despite all of his flaws. But I think most collectors would feel the same way as me, wanting to add him to their collections, and I'm actually quite surprised that hasn't been done already, with the Black Series being going on for about 7 years now and him being such a big character. But with Hasbro slowly now releasing more and more prequel trilogy figures, I'm sure we'll get him sooner rather than later. Now let's move on to number 9. So here at number 9 on the list, I've decided to cheat a little bit and throw in 2 characters with the Super Battle Droid and the Droideka. So Hasbro have recently given us 3 versions of the B1 Battle Droid, with the Standard, the Heavy, and for soon to get the Geonosis version. So it's about time the B2 Super Battle Droid and the Droideka also get some love. Although I think it's more likely that we'll get a Super Battle Droid rather than the Droideka. I think if Hasbro were to release a Droideka, it would have to be within the Deluxe line. I think most people would want some type of shield accessory to go with it to complete the look of the Droideka, and I doubt Hasbro would give us something like that within the main line. They would want us to pay a bit extra for it, I believe. But I think most collectors wouldn't mind paying the extra for it to get a good Destroyer droid on the shelf. But there we have it at number 9. Let's move on to number 8. At number 8 I have another droid, but this one is definitely my favourite of the bunch. We have General Grievous's bodyguards, the RG-100 MAGNAGUARD. Now this is simply a really cool, really well designed droid. It uses an electro staff that can even go toe to toe with a lightsaber, so there's really not much more to say about this droid, but I just think most collectors would love one of these. Me especially. I remember having a 3 3/4 inch version of this as a kid when Revenge of the Sith first came out, and it was always one of my favourites, so I'd absolutely love to add it to my current collection. Let's move on to number 7. At number 7, we have a character from the latest film. We have Darkseid, or Empress Rey. Now, I love this. When I first saw Dark Rey in the trailer, I was really hoping to make it go dark in the actual film. I knew it was highly unlikely and more likely a vision, which it turned out to be, but nevertheless, I would love to get a Dark Rey on the shelf. I love the design of the folding lightsaber, similar to the Jedi Temple Guard saber. I just hope if they do produce this figure, they give us the sharp teeth, or maybe even 2 heads, one with and one without, similar to what they did with the Anakin figure with the light side and dark side heads. But I guess we'll have to wait and see if they do produce this figure. Now let's move on to number 6. Number 6 on the list, we have one of my favourite characters from the Mandalorian TV series. We have Moff Gideon, played by the brilliant Giancarlo Esposito, amazing in Breaking Bad, and from what we saw of him, amazing in this as well. Now, he only appeared in the last 2 episodes of the first season, but his appearance made me even more excited for the second season. Now, I get why they haven't released a figure of him yet, and if you haven't seen season 1, I'm going to spoil it for you now. He has the dark saber. Now, we haven't got the dark saber in the Black Series as of yet. I would love to get Moff Gideon alongside the dark saber in my Black Series collection. Hopefully with season 2 coming soon we get a figure of him, but we'll have to wait and see. Let's move on to number 5. Here we are then at the halfway point at number 5, and this is where I've decided to cheat a little bit. So I've gone for Jedi Masters, just for the simple fact I couldn't pick one. Now I've got plenty of Jedi in the Black Series so far, like Anakin, Obi-Wan, Mace Windu and Yoda to name but a few. But there's plenty more that I can go for. I say we're also getting Kit Fisto and Plo Koon in the next wave. But there's plenty to play with, as I say, likes of Kaidi Moody, Luminara Unduli, Shak T. We've also recently got Clone Commander Bly, so why not give us the likes of Aayla Secura so we can recreate Order 66, with that being a big thing at the moment with the Season 7 of the Clone Wars, touching on that as well. But I say we'll have to wait and see what they do in the future, and hopefully there's many more Jedi in the works. But let's move on to number 4. Here at number 4 we have one of my all-time favourite characters. We have Starkiller, or Galen Marek. Now, if I was doing this a year ago, he would have been number 1, no doubt about it. But we have him at number 4 here, and it's still a figure I would love to have. We actually nearly got him a few years ago when he was on a fan vote to be made, but unfortunately he ended up losing out to Jaina Solo. But I'm still hopeful we'll get him eventually, with The Force Unleashed being one of my favourite games of all time when I was growing up. And The Force Unleashed 2 wasn't that bad either. The only issue I would have is I don't know which costume I'd want him in, as there's so many good ones to choose from. In a dream world, I would love to have a 4-pack with maybe his main look from the first game with the red lightsaber, his main look from the second game with the dual blue lightsabers, and then maybe Jedi Galen from the first game, and probably Sith Starkiller as well. That's probably my favourite one of all time. Now we've actually got 3 figures from the Force Unleashed in the Black Series so far. We have the Shadow Guard that came in the Guardians of Evil 4-pack a few years ago, and more recently we're getting the Stormtrooper Commander and the Shadow Stormtrooper in the Gaming Greats line, so fingers crossed Starkiller isn't too far away. Now let's move on to number 3. Into the top 3 now, and I have a bit of a different figure that I would want, and that is the creator himself, George Lucas. Now this might be one that not many people agree with, but I think it would be a nice way to honour the guy who created the entire universe that we love. And it's not like Hasbro would be opposed to doing this, with them recently releasing a Stan Lee figure in the Marvel Legends line, but I still think if they were to do this, it probably wouldn't be for a few years, but we'll have to wait and see, and I hope other collectors would agree that they would like to see a George Lucas figure as well. Now let's move into the top 2. The runner-up on my list is a popular one. It's AHSOKA Tano. Now, I think she'll be high up on many people's lists, especially with the Clone Wars finally coming to an end, but she's a fan favourite, and I think Hasbro have to do this figure. We have gotten AHSOKA in the past in the Black Series with her look in the Rebels, but we need a Clone Wars AHSOKA, and personally I would like the Season 7 look rather than the previous seasons. And I do hope if we do get a Season 7 look, Hasbro throw in a removable cloak for her, like she's wearing at the end of the season. It's just a little extra something that would be nice to have. But I do think they'll do this one sooner rather than later. They really would be stupid not to. She's a fan favourite and she would fly off the shelves. But let's move into number 1. So here we are then, number 1, finally finishing off my list, and again I think this is a popular choice. And if you've seen my collection video, you will know that I love troopers, so this is always going to be my number 1 on my list, and it's a 332nd Legion Clone Trooper. I think most fans have loved the look of this trooper ever since the Season 7 trailer was released at Star Wars Celebration, and my love for this trooper has just gotten bigger since watching Season 7. It's quite literally my favourite trooper, the 501st, but with the helmet painted to look like AHSOKA. I think that's just really cool. And for what it stands for within the show, showing how much the troopers respect AHSOKA, it really makes the final few episodes even more emotional. I think Hasbro would be silly not to make this one. It would literally be like printing money. And that's it for my top 10 Star Wars The Black Series wish list. Please leave a comment below if you agreed, disagreed, or if there's a character you would have on your list that I've missed. I would love to hear people's opinions. And please like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss any future videos.